Hey, good evening. This is Brandy Patterson with Design Thinking. I'm going to be reflecting on my thoughts of the define portion of design thinking. So, my initial thoughts about the define portion of design thinking is that it's very natural. And I say this because when I read the material, we had just backtrack. Last night we had a group meeting, and I did not see the defined material available to read and go through until this evening. So when I read through it, I just kind of like wow, because we were doing exactly that. We were doing exactly that step after the empathizing portion. It just That's why I say that it's natural, because it just kind of happened in that way. We even got into the ideate phase a little bit. And so that was really my initial thoughts and feelings. Were just like, wow, this is a really well organized and thought out process, because it just kind of flows naturally, in the way that you would think or organize something in your own mind. And so, as far as defining the problem itself in the group for our project, we were like after we finished empathizing, we kind of came with a kind of an out of the box thinking type of idea, because when we were talking about the tote bag, one of the gripes that we had in our gripe session was that regardless of how well you design this bag, it's going to be pretty heavy when you think about all of the items that you want to carry in the bag. And it's going to be heavy regardless of how light you make the bag. And so, we were thinking, then, you want so many things inside of the tote bag. Could you imagine someone who's already kind of sick or weak, having to dig through, this tote bag, then you're going to have to compartmentalize and everything like that. And then we said, hey, what about something more automated? So we're kind of toying, and then with another factor that went into defining that particular problem was the worry of the spreading of germs. And so we were like, something that a little bit more automated. That way, it's sanitary. They're not taking things from the cancer center to and from their car, or to and from their home, that kind of thing. So anyhow, we were when we defined the problem, one of the ideas that we came up with was um, maybe something like a little robot buddy that they can carry their things in, and maybe it's some of the things that stays just at the cancer center, or like a little, and like the little robot would have like a little screen where they can have like pictures of their loved ones. They could have access to FaceTime, video chats. They could watch movies, things like that. Just some of the things that after empathizing, we considered about, their experience, while they were getting treatment. And so that was just, really interesting to me, just how natural that was after, the empathizing, and then defining the problem, and then just kind of how that ideate just kind of flows very naturally. And so the other, any other information that we could gather, um, we're in the process of gathering information about how we could design such a little robot. And we're looking to see if something like that, already exists. I know in some of the hospitals, you'll see They are little robots, going around like almost like doctor's assistants, that type of thing. So that's kind of what we're going into. We're kind of researching behind our idea. So, we can make something, a prototype of something that's kind of realistic. And so that's kind of where I'm at with the defining process. That's how I understand it. And that's pretty much the sense I could make of the process. I'm kind of impressed with how well put together and organized it is. I feel a lot more confident in the design thinking process. I don't know why until now the light bulb has just kind of gone off, and I think everybody is feeling a little bit more comfortable and confident because when you're a student, a lot of the times you expect, like rubrics and, I'm expecting this, and this by this time, and everything's really just kind of laid out in specific details for you. And there is a structure, but it's kind of loose, and there's some gray area with that. And so it kind of forces you to trust the process. That's been, not so easy, but I'm getting better with that. My teammates are getting better with that, and we are looking forward to maybe even sitting down with you and kind of getting some further guidance. So that's all I have for now.